Hey everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am your host, Nick. As always, I'm joined by my brother, Josh.
Why, good morrow, everyone.
He's speaking in high fantasy talk for some reason. He doesn't read books, he doesn't read high fantasy, but he talks in high fantasy.
Oh, that's not true, Nick.
What's the last high fantasy that you read?
What was the last Tom Clancy one he wrote?
That's fucking espionage. You fucking
media
literacy illiterate motherfucker.
So I really think the last one I truly read was the Pendragon series. That's
Okay.
closest high fantasy. I mean, it's not really high fantasy, but
Is that like Aragon and like the covers are like the heads of the dragons, or at least they were at one point?
no, it's more of like a kind of think of it as like a time traveling thing where it's like you go through different time periods, but it's all on the same planet, basically.
So this isn't Aragon.
No, this is definitely not Aragon. No.
I thought Aragon was part of the Pendragon series. Am I getting my high fantasy series mixed up?
I think you're getting them mixed up.
I mean, I know Lord of the Rings. I know Game of Thrones. I know...
Oh, no, I did that back. I did read Game of Thrones after that. Never mind. Game of Thrones was the last...
I started the Game of Thrones series, and then the author didn't finish it, so I couldn't finish it. So therefore, I'm the failure.
It's coming soon, okay? Just hold
the door. Hold the door. Hey, we're holding the door here. We're Smashing Game Time. You can get us anywhere you get your podcasts. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on what used to be Google. I guess it's YouTube podcast now. We're also on YouTube proper, where you can see our wonderful faces whenever you want. Hey, are you hearing this at a weird time? That's right. We used to go live. We used to go up on Mondays. Now we go up on Wednesdays. It just worked a little better. We were running into a lot of walls where we had stuff we couldn't talk about, and we had to wait like an entire week. Now if we record a little later and then release on a Wednesday, it just works out better. Right, Josh?
I mean, I had no issues prior. Everyone, just to clarify, it's definitely a Nick. Kids are very difficult.
Well,
it seems like every other time. Well, I'm just saying, because between them getting you sick, them getting sick, them being children and needing adult supervision 24/7.
Well, this will so they haven't been sleeping a lot as of late, but also anyone who's listened the last few weeks will notice my voice has been going through some stuff. Since I've gotten back from LA, I have been some kind of sick. I've had some kind of cough. And you know, like when you have like a phlegmy cough and it kind of tastes metallic?
Mm-hmm.
That's been every cough for the last 3 weeks. And I lay in bed. I've laid in bed multiple times over the last week and thought, is this my new normal? Is this life for now on?
Nick, I've had that since I was in high school. That is the Barrett syndrome in me.
Don't fucking say that. No.
Do you get acid reflux really bad?
No, I got some today, but it's because I had a really rich cake yesterday for like after dinner, and I was running this morning and I got really bad acid reflux. But otherwise, it's only after I have something that's really bad for me.
I get it every freaking day, and I have to take medicine for it, because if I don't, Barrett syndrome basically is the acid comes up your esophagus and starts to deteriorate so much to the point where it becomes inflamed. That's why I was for the longest time choking and almost dying every time I would eat something.
It wasn't the Benoit ball in his mouth. It was
no.
It was this.
But there's mucus. It's always right here, just out of reach. You can cough it up. You can hack it up. You can take medicine all you want. It stays there.
So is that like, because there's I don't know if I've had something like this, but like there's a thing where like, when you're like not feeling well and your body's making like extra saliva before you throw up because your body's getting you ready, like, hey, shit's gonna come up, here's some extra saliva that you're gonna gag on before it to build up. Like, is your mouth constantly making saliva that you don't need?
Yes.
Well, you need it, but like you don't need
it. No, like
it.
right now I can feel it. It builds up at the bottom. I have to swallow like every couple, like maybe 30 seconds. So that's the mucus. It just always builds up. So I always have it lining my throat. So I can, like I said, hack it up as much as I want. It just continuously comes back.
So that's how people get their classic like NPR, like the you can hear their jowls as they're talking, like when it's a person over a certain age. You have that. No,
Yeah.
no, you don't have the NPR voice yet, but you will when you're older. But that's okay. A lot of people find that endearing, and a lot of people can listen to like the smacking of that liquid. But hey, now that I know that, I'm going to worry about that as I go to sleep tonight, Josh.
I mean, as long as you don't get acid reflux all the time and you don't choke, you're fine.
Okay. All that to say, hey, we post on Wednesdays now, so
Yes.
stay tuned with that.
Yes.
We have a website, Smashing Game Time. Go over there. I haven't done the journal in a few weeks because I haven't been feeling so well. So as things start to get better, I'm going to get back into that. I've been super busy with reviews and articles for hard drives. So that's kept me a little busy lately. Hey, fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. That's right. Word of mouth is king here. We don't bow down to the algorithm, he said, moving the show to a Wednesday.
Yeah. Some programs we listen to, not all of them. Fuck the machines.
Oh boy, let's move into the games. Josh, you want to go first or should I? I feel like I could go first and get through mine pretty quickly here.
That's fine. I mean, I'll get through mine quickly too, but go ahead. If you insist.
All right, so I mentioned a few reviews. I took a big stack of games all at the same time, so I've been playing catch up. My reviews for Pepper Grinder is one of them. Pepper Grinder came out last week. Pepper Grinder is a cute little platformer that reminds me a lot of Donkey Kong Country. Like once you jump in and play a few levels, you start to like, this is fucking Donkey Kong Country. There are levels where you're shooting from barrels, like just about the whole level. There is a level with like sticker bushes everywhere, and I think there's like little hints at Sticker Bush Symphony within the soundtrack. This was also the game that I was being obnoxious about that I couldn't. I was like, I'm playing a really good game. I can't talk about it right now. The last few weeks before our interview with Sebastian on Nuclear Blaze. So yeah, Pepper Grinder. It's a very short game. Like I ran through it in like 3 hours, completed the entire thing. That wasn't like doing every bonus level. There's 4 bonus levels, one per world. Each level is built for speedrunning, but it's also built for collecting and finding secrets. It's very, very versatile. Like, yeah, I was surprised by that because usually, when a game's built for speedrunning, it's not so much built for collecting. I think back to like Crash Bandicoot back on the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. You were either collecting or you were speedrunning. You really didn't do both. The sick fucks that did do both had something wrong with them because those levels were hard as fuck anyway.
That's that
guy right there. There's 4 boss fights. They're all kind of the same though. But Pepper Grinder, I'm telling you, it's $15. It's a short game. Anyone who liked Donkey Kong Country or likes that aesthetic is going to like Pepper Grinder. It's a great game to play on the go. It runs really great. Once you beat a level, you can return into a time attack mode of that level. And some of these time restraints on them, very tough. Very, very tough. I had one that I was struggling with all through review that I actually just beat before I got down here. I was fucking pumping my fist. I was so excited about it. But check that out. I think that's pretty cool. The other review I had go up was called Reveal. Imagine my confusion writing that. The review reveal. Yeah, it threw me off so much. This is a first-person survival horror puzzle game, more focused on the puzzle than the survival aspect of it. You are a carnival worker. You wake up in your home, you have a headache, and you can't find your family. You run through the house, and the house like turns into different carnival areas from throughout your life. It's got really scary carnival aesthetics to it, which I hate fucking carnivals. So yeah, fuck me, right? Mm-hmm. The puzzles are fine. It leans a little heavy on the fetch puzzles in the middle of the game, but otherwise, I think this is a great spooky game. I think theme-wise, it plays really well with memory and nostalgia and the machine that goes into work to creating nostalgia for things that maybe we really shouldn't have nostalgia for. I won't say too much because then I start to get into spoiler territory, but it's a fucking head trip. It goes places. It's another short game. I beat that one in about, I want to say 4 or 5 hours. The not set pieces, but just the the scene painting that they do throughout the house, throughout the carnival, throughout all these different settings that you're in, really well thought out. It's just there's an ending to it. I mean, there's a lot. There's twists in and throughout it. The scene painting of the house, the carnival, all the different settings you're in are really well done. Really surprised that I believe it was a pretty small team working on this. I enjoyed it. I'm still thinking about the ending. Go check out Reveal. It's spooky. It's spooky. It's spooky without being like jump scares. Like you can maybe count the amount of jump scares on one hand. And there are areas where you're being not chased by someone, but if they find you, they grab you and like reset you to a different area. So I mean, I'm not a fan of those areas. I was never like a big Outlast or any game where you're being pursued. Like the Nemesis system in the new Resident Evil is not a big fan of those.
I love them.
I don't like being chased. I don't know what you sick fucks like about being chased, but it's not for me.
Well, I mean, but that's just it, Nick. It's the appeal. Who doesn't want a big, strong, burly man coming after them? Just to manhandle you.
I am good. I'm gonna move on before you go a little deeper into your whatever you're doing.
That's my fetish. Fetish of the day.
Josh, you are the big burly man. What are you talking about?
Hey, big burly men want to be little spoons too. Okay.
Big burly men are in your area and they're looking for you, Jill Valentine. I'm also playing I've been playing a lot of Balatro lately. It is my Steam Deck guilty pleasure. I got for those who don't know, this is the roguelike poker game where you're trying to score a certain amount of chips. You do that by creating poker hands, and there are bonuses that you get that are in the form of jokers. You can also like power up different kinds of hands with planet cards, or you can power up just like a lone card. So where like, oh, if you play this king, it scores double, or it does this, or it does that, or it may create another card if you don't use it. And I had a really good run, got all the way to the 6th ante, and then so you play the small blind, the big blind, and then the boss blind. If you don't know, I mean, go watch a video of it real quick, but I got to the boss that I lost to. The bosses always have like this special thing where it's like, oh, your multipliers don't work here, or you discard 2 cards at the end of every turn. And I got to one that was like, you can only play 1 hand. Completely derailed me. Like I knew if I had 5 hands I would have won it, but at 1 hand there was no chance. I had, even with all the Joker buffs that I had going, wasn't gonna work. Completely hosed, and I was really upset. But I want to play more, so I'm going to play more. I'm also playing Wolong: The Fallen Dynasty. I've got the complete collection on Steam. This is a review I got in a stack with Pepper Grinder and REVEIL, and the one I've been putting off because the game has been a buggy fucking mess. I am playing through the first boss fight right now. It seems like the bugs have been worked out, but I think I need to get a little further into the game.
Good luck.
We'll fucking see, I guess. But so that's what I'm going to be playing most of this week. I also started Fallout 76, our book club game of the month. I got through the vault. I'm creating my character, and I completely forgetting. Like, I'm so ingrained in how you create a character in Fallout from my Fallout 3, 4, and New Vegas time, that I was creating the character, and then when it got to, oh, hey, do you want your character to be level 20 already by the time you get out? And I was like, oh yeah, this is an MMO sort of thing. I took the level 20 boost.
Oh, you coward. You got to start from square one.
They don't give you guns, though. You still got to go out and get your junk.
I get that, but it's about the grind, Nick. It's an MMO. Well, grind that bad boy.
Well, and you get out of the vault pretty quick. It's nothing revolutionary, you know. Most games.
So no tunnel snakes at all?
No tunnel snakes. Like 3 and 4 have like this thing where, you know, some shit's going wrong in your vault and you come out. Your vault's purpose is, after a certain amount of time, you guys are going out to reclaim the land. It's very much Helldiver-esque. Like, we're going to be the saviors of the wasteland, of the, what do they call it? The Appalachian wasteland. We're going to save everybody. And I got to the end, you walk through the vault, and it's just the Mr. Handies, like the floating hand guys.
Yeah.
that are like they're at a table and they're giving you supplies, and that's basically the tutorial is them giving you supplies at each table and explaining what it is. And that goes on for a pretty fucking long time. Like it took me about 5-10 minutes. Like you're like, Nick, it's just 5 to 10 minutes. Like
What
no, when
what is this? What is this James Bond-esque bullshit? Hey Q, what do you got for me? Well, right here,
well,
you've
hold
got
on.
your Pip Boy 3000.
Hold on. The exchanging between Q and 007 is an art form, I'll have you know. And with the rumors of Cillian Murphy like in the running for 007, I remember hearing that news the other day and thinking, no, 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 no. That man's Q.
Oh yeah, he's
That
definitely
man
Q.
is Q. That man is not 007. What the fuck are we doing?
No. Nick, be honest. Who do you think should be the next 007?
I think they've already announced it, Josh. It's Quicksilver from Avengers. I forget his name. Kick-Ass.
Oh, is that actually true?
I that's who they're that's like the front runner. I think he's actually been offered it, and Pierce Brosnan was like, he has my blessings.
I know Pierce Brosnan said he had his blessings, but I didn't realize I was like, yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, he's going to be like that's who MGM is like. Yeah, we want him to be our next James Bond.
Ian Fleming
100%.
came back from the grave, and he's like, I'm cool with it if you are.
Holy shit, you're alive?
I'm cool with it. I'm just here. I'm just here in my grave. No, I think he'll be a good 007. I think he'll be cool. I like Kick-Ass.
I do too.
I'm disappointed we never got that Kingsman Kick-Ass crossover.
Maybe one day. I
Maybe
mean,
one
they
day.
are doing the next Kingsman, right? It's supposed to be like the sequel to actually Kingsman 2 and not doing the prequel shit.
I think it is, but I mean, the guy who wrote the first three just did that movie Argyle that flopped. And now I'm like,
Which I'm kind of shocked. It looked decent. Like, I'm not saying it was like gonna be like, oh, great shit, but like, it looked like it was gonna be decent enough. You know what I mean? Like enough to get the numbers up.
I don't know, like it used to be.
Excuse me.
Oh my goodness, it used to be like back in the 2000s, like the movies that had all the names were like the Valentine's Day or the New Year's Eve's movies, and now it's like these big Hollywood set pieces or these big spy where it's like, oh, we've got 15 people you've heard of. When will they pop up? Who fucking knows? Oh, and Danny DeVito voices this critter over here for some reason, or Jack Black voices this critter over there.
I'll be honest. The only reason I wanted to watch, actually, only two reasons I want to watch it: Henry Cavill,
Okay.
Dua Lipa.
He's actually, what Josh is doing here is he diverted attention away from Dua Lipa, which was the actual sole reason he wanted to watch it, by saying Harry Cavill. It's okay.
Sorry,
Josh.
I find she's a very beautiful woman, and he's very powerful.
He's very powerful, man. Very, very powerful.
And he's very powerful. And honestly, every time I see videos of him interviewing, I see the spark in his eyes when someone talks nerd stuff, whether it's Warhammer or video games. And it's just like, why can't other celebrities be like this? It seem like they got their heads up their asses.
It sounds like he got a little whiny on the Witcher set. Like I think I think everyone involved with it had a handle and things going wrong, but he does sound like he was a little difficult to work with on that set.
I mean, but then again, he was using the source materials where it seems like some of the showrunners, like half of them were like, yeah, let's go off the source material, and some of them were like, yeah, fuck that shit, we're not going to read that crap.
I mean, you and I, all we have is he said, she said, and the latest he said, she said I've heard is that he didn't want to do the sex scenes, which pretty sure the books are just as sexy as the games.
I mean, the last thing, well, let's be honest, last he said, she said shit that we've gotten as of recently is the Quiet on Set documentary.
That's not he said, she said. There's a lot of people saying, oh,
well,
no. What's the line from the Chappelle Show? Oh, Beretta did that shit.
Beretta did that shit.
Beretta did that shit. We're moving on from that, though.
Yes.
Fallout 76, I'm out of the vault. You get out, and it's very beautiful. Like, the leaves are turning colors. You can see the mountains. A picture of Mothman went viral, so I'm excited to find Mothman. Like, a real picture of Mothman went viral. Real. I'm air quoting if you're watching, or if you're listening.
It wasn't today, right?
No, it was recently.
Okay.
And I saw that photo that a friend shared, and I was like, oh, I want to play some fucking Fallout 76 because I think he's in this. And
well, Nick, go ahead, sorry.
And when you boot up the game, there's it does the typical Fallout thing where it kind of goes over the landscape of, like, you see some set pieces, and there's like this weird looking like swamp creature that's very muscular. He doesn't look like a mutant, but he doesn't look like any creature that you could like really pinpoint. And I'm just like, oh, he looks fucking terrifying. So I'm kind of, because I've been to West Virginia. I've driven through West Virginia at night, and it's very unsettling. So I can only imagine going through a Fallout West Virginia.
I wonder if it's supposed to be like Bigfoot mutated.
Possibly, possibly. Other than that, I'm still reading Radiant Black. I'm waiting on issue 3, or my I forget, my trade issue 3 to get here. They just recently introduced this new character called Radiant Pink, who's using her powers to like boost her. She's a Twitch streamer, Josh.
Hey.
So she's using those abilities and like, you know, using like delays in her stream to make it look like she's friends with the superhero. And it's really cool. And so basically it's like not a backdoor pilot. I don't know what the term is in comics, but it's like a backdoor launching of another series, Radiant Pink. And it launches into like a mini series where she gets transported somewhere with a terrorist that I think tried to rob a bank or tried to blow something up that she saved. And like, it's basically, I think it's a buddy cop situation. Turns out Radiant Black has a lot of other characters around him that have either their own mini-series or their own series that have started out. So I am waiting on a copy of Radiant Red, Inferno Girl Red, and what's the other one? Rogue Sun to get here. But I think you would like these, Josh. If you want to borrow them, I could be enticed.
I would definitely not mind borrowing them. I need to catch up on my stuff still, but yeah, I'll add them to my list.
And then Tokyo Vice I'm still watching. I need to finish Tokyo Vice so then I can hop back into Shogun. I can only take so many subtitles because then I've got the kids and then like kid in one hand, subtitle up on the screen. Sometimes it doesn't work out too well because oh no, you're screaming. Oh fuck, what did they say? I didn't get to read it really fast.
You fucking noob.
I am sorry, Mr. Subs versus Dubs.
Actually, I sometimes prefer dubs only when I'm trying to be productive and being lazy. Otherwise, I do think the only thing I don't like about subs personally, and it's not so much because I don't like it, it's just because it's different, is sometimes you have female voice actors voicing male characters. Not that they can't do it, it's just really, it throws you off a little bit. Like, you know, like Goku, for example, is the biggest example. She is fantastic. It's not that she isn't, it just really throws you off. Like, you're thinking like, oh, this sounds different. And then you see in person, it's a girl, and it's just like, whoa, what? It just throws you off.
It takes some time.
It gets some getting used to.
It's the old it's the old Ron White joke when he like meets a guy with a flipper and shakes his hand. He wants to be aware of the flipper.
Yes.
You just don't throw the flipper at somebody.
Yeah, especially when it's supposed to be like somebody who's supposed to be like this. Not saying okay, I'm just gonna talk myself in circles.
Goku's a bad dad, so I don't care who voices him.
Yeah, Piccolo is the better dad.
Piccolo isn't the father. He's the father that stepped up.
That is true.
Josh, what are you playing?
Yeah, so still working my way through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I just finished my fight with Dean, or Dine, however you want to pronounce it. So Barrett's friend.
Oh, is this Barrett's backstory stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just finished that. I think they did a fantastic job with that transition. As far as like, you know, obviously everything is different. So this time I think it's still pretty good. The story makes a lot of sense. Everything looks great and fantastic. So that's where I'm at in there. I don't want to do any more spoilage for you, Nick. I don't know if you ever plan on playing it or if you care.
I might just might wait for the honest trailer to drop so they tell me how to feel about the game.
Pretty sure it's already out, Nick.
Probably.
At this point, I think all spoilers are up. I've just been avoiding them like crazy. Anytime someone's talking about it, I immediately just skip it. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see this or hear it. I want to play on my own terms.
We'll yeah. We don't need to mark anything because you didn't really spoil anything.
Well, I was going to spoil it if you wanted me to, but at this point, I think everybody's played it faster than I have.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Director, the fat director.
The guy is it the guy that Cloud like seduced, like dressed as a woman?
No, that is Don Kahn.
Because Don Kahn comes back.
Carmino.
Don Carmino comes back later in the game, doesn't he?
He does, but not him. So
Okay.
you know the director who watched Seth Roth kill the President Shinra. Cloud and Barrett grab him as he's running away.
Is he like this? Is it Rufus or the science?
Not
Not Rufus, the
not
scientist.
yeah, the scientist, the one who does the
Hojo? Jojo?
not no, not that scientist. Sorry, let me rephrase. The fact so when you get to where Sid lives, where the rocket's at,
Hmm.
you know when you get the tiny Bronco, you have to do that boss fight with that director, the fat guy who spanks his ass.
No, but this sounds like Final Fantasy.
So you actually fight him after the Dean fight.
Okay.
So it's already like way like it's much sooner together, but he's on a giant robot, basically. And then there is a rail shooting sequence. Lots of little mini games in it, which I'm actually enjoying. There's not been a bad one yet.
It's well, I've heard otherwise, but I think
Well, those other people don't count.
it sounds like it's a bunch of fights crunched between a bunch of mini games that are take them or leave them.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to do all the mini like the at Costa del Sol they had you do like 3, and you didn't have to do them. Like you could just do it once, get the bare minimum done, and get the prize and be done with it. But I even went back because I'm a completionist. I'm gonna do it all. So I went back and did everything like twice. Needless to say, I've enjoyed everything so far. The remaking of this actually feels different. Like you know how like we've sat here and said before, like some companies are just really lazy with their remakes or with their like HD upgrades. Like they're just whatever. It's bullshit.
Yeah, like Dragon's Dogma too.
Yeah, I think Square Enix is doing a fantastic job with it, and it's definitely keeping me on my toes. I'm definitely still trying to figure out what's going on with Zach in the background, but I have an idea. I think with him, he's in an alternate reality, but I don't know to what extent it is involved into what we're currently playing with in the main, or what I'm going to call the main timeline.
So, I'm seeing on this. I'm looking at your list of games here.
Yep.
You're playing Rebirth.
Yep.
I'm moving my mic closer for effect here. And you're also playing Final Fantasy 13 2. I believe this is called Lightning Returns.
No, that's the third one.
Oh, okay. Well, you're playing a Final Fantasy that has the number 13 in it. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Because I have had them in my Steam library, downloaded to my SSD for 3 years, and I'm tired of having them on there, and I want to get them deleted. So I've been going through achievement hunting in my spare time, and I'm almost done with 13.2. I literally have. Let me go to my tracker real quick. I've got that bad boy up. I have 5 achievements left to get.
Jesus. Josh, you don't have to do that.
Nick, I know I don't, but I want to.
Josh, you don't have to do this.
I have to go back and do 13 and finish those ones. But I really want to finish 13 too because I want to get to Lightning Returns because I only played. I remember I played the demo and I was like, "Ooh, I really want to get this," and I never did.
You don't have to do this to yourself, Josh.
I want to. I remember how I was talking shit a couple weeks ago, saying 13.2. Oh God.
Yeah.
Now that I've actually sat down and played it to completion and not read a Wikipedia article about it, I kind of take back what I said. It's definitely the story is definitely a lot better than I remembered it being. And
so if you were re-ranking it now, what would it be?
What do we rank it as?
I think
we put it bottom.
I think we didn't put anything in D. I think we might have put it as either an F or a C.
If we put it in F, I would put it up to a C.
Okay.
If we have it at C, I would put it up at a B.
All right, so you're coming around.
Yeah, I honestly the story is a lot better than I remembered it, but then again I look back and I was like, I don't really remember the ending too well. And after doing like all the paradox endings, it makes a lot more sense why I didn't remember it all. Because there's 9 different paradox endings. It's like alternate endings.
That's too many.
It's a very grindy game though. I have 160 collectibles you have to get one of the last endings.
Nope. When a game becomes grindy at the end, if it's not Wind Waker, I've just given up. Like you know
it's much easier than Wind Waker. It's honestly at this point I put it as a Wind Waker is in the middle. If there's too little, that's fine. If there's too much, then I have to stop. I can't. And I'd say it's just right below it.
fucking Recore, I was like, you need more sparks to get to the end of the game. I was like, no, I fucking don't.
Yeah, well, then I put myself through the next torture with the Ratchet and Clank collection.
Yeah,
So
why are you? So what Ratchet and Clanks are in this Ratchet and Clank collection?
this is 1 through 3. So Ratchet and Clank, PS2, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, up your arsenal.
Okay, all right, probably some of the best.
Yeah, well, yeah, honestly, the best. I think was it because 4 is
4 is all is not All for One. What is it?
no, it's Deadlock.
Deadlock. That's right. That was like their first real like multiplayer.
Yeah, like you have the 2 bots who help you in the arena, and then you could connect online and do cooperative.
Right.
That was their first one. Yeah,
Which one are you playing in the collection?
I'm just finishing up 1. I only have a few more bolts to get and skills, and I'm done.
I think the series really opened up with 2 and the ability to upgrade weapons and
Oh yes,
the new game plus, like upgrading the weapons even further. Which, by the way, new game plus. If you haven't listened to our interview with Sebastian of Deep Night Games, go listen to that. There was a good conversation. Sorry, get back to Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, so once again, I'm on a weird. I've for some reason I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of buying new games. I got all these old games that I have, and I wanted to just knock these out. And on top of that, I pulled the old PS3 from the shelf over here, cleaned it off, polished it, made it look real nice. Like, you know what? I want to go back and play some of these old games that I never really got a chance to like really get into them, or games that I'm like, okay, well, I know these are going to be easy achievements because I played the shit out of them. I just never did it on the actual console. So like all the God of Wars, up until, God of War 2018, and then Infamous 1 and 2. I've played the shit out of 1, never played 2.
I'm the same way. I loved 1. I beat 1. I think I did the thing where I saved the people over saving the girlfriend, but then it turns out the girlfriend was with the people.
Is that? No, I thought she died still.
No, like I think if you go to save her, it was a switcheroo. Like she wasn't actually that person you're going to save. She was.
No, she was. Because you save her and she hates you for it, and she leaves you and leaves the city.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways, Josh.
Honestly, it's been long enough that I can't remember. And even then,
it's been probably 12 years since I played it, but I remember playing the shit out of it, and it felt really good to move around in it.
One of the coolest superhero games at the time, for sure. Even into today's, like Second Son, it has a lot of bad blood.
I'm trying to think of anyone before them, because they did a really good like grind with like your character, and now that grind is like basically ingrained into third person action.
Are you doing now to confirm? You're talking about the actual grind mechanic,
where you're not like grinding through the game, but you're actually here's
that's what I mean. Like
here's the power lines.
Ratchet and Clank.
Here's the power lines going to ride this.
Yeah, like the grind boots from Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was referring to, trying to make sure.
So maybe it was Ratchet and Clank first, and then this just did a better version of it.
Well, with Ratchet and Clank, you had to get onto the rails, and you even had to have the item. Where with the game, I think when you start, I think you can only walk across them, and you had to unlock the ability to do it.
And then last but not least, you got quadroids here.
Yes, quadroids. I'm currently reviewing this. It's an interesting little game. So essentially, you have on your screen you have 4 boxes, and it's the level that you're on, and it's kind of like set up like so as far as not like level design, Nick, but as far as like how it looks like when you're starting out,
right?
You have planets, and then they have sections. So for example, I'm on the first. I went to the first planet, but it looks like Super Meat Boy when you pick a level. So you pick a level, and then you have 3 things you're trying to do. 1, you're trying to beat the level. 2, you're trying to beat it within a certain time limit. And then you're also trying to beat it within a certain amount of actions. Actions mean how many times you've pressed the button. So each box has its own corresponding button. Bottom left is like L1, bottom right's R1, top left is L2, top right is R2. So when you have your little human spaceman, he's in that box, you press that button, he jumps in that box. But you have, like, so for example, if he's in the top left, you have to press L2. If you don't, and you press R2 when he's in L2, it's not going to do anything, but it's going to count up as an action.
You used up that button press.
Exactly. Um, so essentially, it just becomes it's that you're trying to get from one spot to another that has like you have your starting spot, which is a spaceship, and you're trying to get to this little button. And it could be two separate buttons, two separate spacemen, and you have to like watch each box as they go through it. Or even there's one now where I had like one in each box trying to get to a separate button, and I had to like, and it's going live at the same time, and I have to do it within like 5 seconds to beat the time limit level. So I have to be watching all four boxes, pressing the buttons at different times to get them because they have to jump.
Sounds like too much for me. Sounds like too much
Oh,
going on.
Trust me, I only did the first planet, or I'm on the second planet, and honestly, the first planet was already difficult towards like the middle, like because they're like, okay, we're gonna have, spacemen on each bottom quadrant, and you're gonna have to have them meet basically in the middle, jump into each other, and bounce off of each other to then go into their separate boxes.
Yeah, no. I'm glad I didn't make this up.
It's definitely a more extreme puzzle platformer. I like it though; it's really good.
Anything else about Quadroid?
No, they got a weird death mechanic. So they can respawn, but what happens is there's some puzzles where they have spikes. You actually have to intentionally kill your spaceman, like impale him with the spikes, so that when you come back around the second time or even third time, you can use the carcass as a platform to then get up to the next spot.
I do like that. I like
That part
games
was cool.
I like games that play with like either the rewind mechanic or you get 2 loops through this, you better jump on your body.
It also keeps track of how many spacemen you've killed.
I do like that too. That's one of my favorite things about Meat Boy is like when you finish a level, oh hey, you want to see every Meat Boy that you killed in the process?
Here you go.
Here you go. So I'm seeing a lot of games here, Josh. Are you going to be playing Stellar Blade at the end of the month?
I try.
I didn't like the way you licked your teeth there. Let the podcast listeners know that as I asked him the question, as I said Stellar Blade, he ran his tongue around the top of his teeth. Did not like this. Did not like that. I did not like that, so we're gonna move on. Josh, you got some news for us?
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
I sure do. Let's start from the top. This article is coming from Game Rant. It's written by Jose V. Rosie. I apologize if I butcher that name. Basically, CD Projekt Red, they basically are like, yeah, we actually exceeded our target size for the team, and they went right into production for it.
So, because I remember when Cyberpunk was on the cusp of coming out, and these guys at one point were like, oh, hey, by the way, we've got 3 more Witcher games, and we've got 2 other Cyberpunk games, and they had a lot under their plate. This makes it sound like Witcher 4 is the main focus so that they can like do Witcher 4 and then just get the rest of the new trilogy going.
Yes, I think with them releasing that DLC that came out for Cyberpunk, that was, I think it's supposed to originally be a game its own. If memory served me correctly, I think they just finally said, screw it. Yeah, let's just honestly full force into Witcher because, that's their bread and butter.
I love that. I love that we know. So the Witcher 4 internally is known as Polaris. So now any hackers out there like, all right, I need to find files that are called Polaris. Like they've probably changed the name internally just for extra security. But I love that like we know it's Witcher 4, but it's called Polaris. Like reporting on the code name that we don't even need because we know this is a game.
At this point, it's like, why'd you have to tell us like the code name of like what it's being called internally? Like, I don't care what it's being called internally. Just call like when Xbox is like, oh, Project Scorpio. I don't care about projects. Just tell me it's the Xbox One X.
It's like, motherfucker, we know this is coming.
Yeah.
Do they have a release window for this? I'm not seeing anything on
No,
here.
I think they originally said 2025 is like the idea. But with how because it'd be just in time for the 10-year mark for Witcher 3. That's right, 10 years. Can you believe that?
That fucking, first of all, blows my mind. I could see this going 2026, just because
Yeah,
I remember the Witcher 3 got pushed back a lot, and then I remember Witcher 3 came out, and that was a buggy mess as well. Not as bad as Cyberpunk, but I mean, if you look at the last two releases, you're like, okay, CD Projekt Red, like.
I mean, if they're just now getting like into like the hardcore production of it, yeah, I don't imagine it being out until 2026, and that's earliest.
Yeah, I think we'll get first trailer will be. I
want to say E3, but I'm like, oh geez.
Not Summer Game Fest, but maybe the Video Game Awards at the end of the year. But that still feels like maybe Summer Game Fest 2025.
See, I'm even thinking they're gonna stick with a console, so they might even do like Xbox's thing or PlayStation's. But
whoever they're partnered with.
Exactly, because I know with Cyberpunk 2077, it did not bode very well for the last gen consoles. So it's they definitely learned from that. But
yeah, it got taken down.
At this point, we got to think.
Couldn't sell.
How far into this generation are we right now?
Folks speculate halfway. So, we're about 3.5 years in. Folks say the consoles are halfway through there.
And I think the thing that cracks me up the most about that is people are like, yeah, we don't need an Xbox Series X Pro or a PS5 Pro. And they're right, we don't.
I'm interested because you originally speculated 2025. GTA 6 is apparently late 2025. I wonder if it was originally 2025 and then GTA 6 got announced and now they're like, oh, we don't, because GTA 6 right now is like 2025, but I could also see that being pushed to mid 2026 because they're in no rush. They're like, we've got the shark cards, we don't need. And so I could see Witcher 4 like kind of like, you know how like movies get moved around when they're like, oh fuck, King Kong's opening the same weekend as, all right, we're going a week earlier, we're going a week later. I could see CG Projekt Red being like, let's
maybe
see what Rockstar does. I think that's what everyone's everyone's going to be doing for the next year. Like, let's see what Rockstar does.
Except for Activision.
They're Microsoft now. Microsoft don't give a shit. Only thing,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they'll say, oh, Call of Duty's good either way.
Only thing Microsoft will do is be like, we don't really want to step, like, we want a GTA 6 version of the Xbox. We're not going to step on Rockstar's toes. We're pushing Call of Duty up into October this year, or we're pushing it back. They'll find a way. They always do. What else we got on the news?
Yeah, Marvel Rivals got announced, and they have the sign up for the alpha test for it. This is coming from GameSpot. It's written by Cameron Koch.
It's Coke.
Yeah,
it's Coke.
I say it's Koch.
It's Coke to me.
Cameron Koch. I don't know. Coach, even maybe.
It's Coke. It's like the Koch brothers. I watched the trailer for this and I did not hate it. So this is Marvel Rivals is the hero shooter 6v6. Think of Overwatch, but with Marvel heroes. It's third person. It's coming from guys that do some of the mobile games, some mobile shooters.
But I mean, it looks so much like Overwatch. I mean, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying it looks good. Like, I definitely agree that it looks fantastic, and I definitely want to try it. I just kept looking at it going, is this just Overwatch, but with Marvel characters? Like, literally, just the way it looks.
It's from NetEase Games. That's who I was trying to think of earlier. It doesn't look bad. And, like, there are some characters that they have on here that I have to double take and be like, okay, who the fuck is that? Like, I think Namar was one. The Hulk right here. Yeah, him is... I had to look and be like, who is that? Is that Edward Norton? I don't know who that is. But, I mean, it's giving... I think Jake said Paragon. Had made a Paragon reference.
I can see that.
Like,
just even, like, the hit markers alone, like, they just look so much like Overwatch, in my opinion.
I do wonder. So is this just for, do they say what consoles?
I think it's, so the play test is only PC, I believe is what they said.
Okay.
But as far as like initial release, I think they do have it marked coming out for Xbox, PS5, and PC. I don't think it's going to be on the Switch unless the Switch 2 gets secretly announced at some point between then and the release of this. But
Because you know what else? You know what other vibes this is giving me? Plants vs Zombies: Garden Warfare. It's
Really?
giving. It's seeing Rocket like boost up that wall and just the cartoony vibe of it. I would be interested to see how they handle Spider-Man, because when it comes to Marvel stuff and Spider-Man, Sony tends to keep Spider-Man exclusive onto their console. So if it does go Xbox, I wonder if they'll find a way around it and be like, okay, well, in place of Spider-Man, you guys get Moon Knight or something.
no, I think Spider-Man will be released for everybody, because why else would you show it like that?
I mean, they've done shit like that before.
No,
They showcase when Marvel's Avengers was like being revealed and all that stuff. They really showcased Spider-Man, and I remember news came out later like, oh, by the way, Spider-Man's PlayStation exclusive.
I crack up at some of the comments people have been making about this. They're like, "Oh, Spider-Man, it doesn't look like he handles really well for this kind of game." And it's like, did we watch the same trailer?
That was
'Cause
fine. It was fine.
I just saw him web 3 people and beat the shit out of them.
If you ask me, Spider-Man's OP. Nerf win. Nerf win, Netties.
Yes.
What else we got?
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 wrapped up its filming. Article from The Gamer, written by Rhiannon. Nick, help me out here.
I think it's Rihanna and Bevan.
Thank you, Rhiannon Bevan. Yeah, so the same group that somehow pulled Jim Carrey out of his early retirement finished wrapping the filming for 3. Honestly, it didn't seem like that long ago that they announced this and they were starting filming. So I'm shocked that they're already done. Like, I know a lot of it's probably CGI'd. Well, it's obviously CGI'd, but as far as like how much of it did they have to film, with a live cast, and what was the percentage of what was like background filming? You know what I mean? Like,
So-
when it's just like the characters that are CGI'd in, like Sonic and all them.
So this is nuts. It started filming in in September, and the SAG-AFTRA strike was still going on. So likely a lot of what they were doing at that point was just the CGI stuff, and they'll put. Is James Marsden still in these? I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
he should be.
Okay. And so then I imagine his stuff didn't start going until SAG-AFTRA strike ended. I want to say that was November. Ended in November. So yeah, this is a very fast turnaround. They're just putting these movies out. I've seen the first one; it's pretty good. Second one, I haven't seen. I do wonder, have they like made has there been like a tongue-in-cheek reference to like all of the like Rule 34 fan art of Sonic and how ridiculous it is? Like, is there a pregnant Sonic joke?
I'm sure with Chili Dogs, yes, there's probably at least like a hint of it somewhere. I'm sure.
Your hint of it sounded like another word. You calm down, sir.
No, I was being very serious there. I haven't seen 2 either.
Your hint of it sounded a little hentai.
Oh,
You push those words together, sir. You are a master word user.
I'm more of a master debater, but
Jesus, jeez Louise. This movie will be fine. This will do numbers. It won't do Mario numbers, but it'll still be a successful movie.
see, I think so we're getting Shadow, which as long as he doesn't have a gun for the most part, we're good.
Yeah, I'll put a gun in this.
And we've got Jim Carrey, who honestly, I think he is a better Eggman than Jack Black is a Bowser.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that too, because I think folks are not tired of Jack Black, but like if there's a video game property, he's around it, and it's like you can tell. Like the Among Us news has been out about who they've cast for the show, and I'm just like, oh, Jack Black is like sniffing around, like.
I mean, but I'm okay with that. I love Jack Black.
I love him too, but it's like, Jack, you don't have to. Jack, we love you. We love
I'd
you.
rather
You don't have to be in it all, dude.
I'd rather have him than Chris Pratt.
I'm not.
I can't. Chris Pratt is just same person over and over.
I don't mind Pratt. I don't like Pratt in the Jurassic movies. I don't like the hands up for the Velociraptors. It's like, oh, you can. Like, I think he plays a really, really good.
He does a good Star-Lord.
Does a good Star-Lord. Yeah, you took the words right
No,
out of my mouth.
I agree. He does a great Star-Lord. but I don't need to be my Italian plumber named Mario Mario. Yeah, that's right.
Mario.
His name is Mario Mario, for those who don't know.
His brother Luigi Mario.
Yeah. And knowing is half the battle.
What else you got?
To end it all off, Stellar Blade demo came out. And tongue in cheek there, the Stellar Blade demo is stellar. I got this article over at Kotaku, written by Levi Winslow.
Hey, he got a name right today.
Yeah, I got a name right.
Hats off.
Yeah, initial impressions for it so far have been fantastic. People are raving about it. I've seen articles left and right. I've seen TikToks, Instagram posts. I mean, honestly, this might be a huge contender for a game of the year right now.
He says without having played it. So I've watched the entire demo. I watched it. I was doing research for a hard drive article that went up today. And I was like, I need to research. I need to research for this article. I need to do it. And, you know, the jiggle physics that everyone is drooling over are there. And I'm just like, okay, cool. That's there. This game's fucking violent.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I watched a character get her arm chopped off and then impaled by like a tentacle. And I was like, first of all, it's very sexually suggestive. And then second of all, I was like, wow, this is very graphic.
Yeah, and they're saying right now that there's going to be some features missing from the game starting out, which worries me a little bit. But I look at the state of game development from AAA companies the past couple of years. I'm okay with missing some of the key features as long as they're staying in. I just don't want everything to be gone and missing, or to be told like, oh yeah, we're not going to throw that in, even though we promised you this. And it's been out for 6 months in beta, we're not going to give it to you.
If you buy this game, I might come over and watch you play it.
I will definitely be buying it. I got a $25 gift card on Easter for PlayStation. So,
I mean, the characters look creepy. There's at one point in the demo, there's this bird-looking character. We're looking at it right now. If you're watching live on YouTube, it's Smashing Game Time. There's a bird-looking character with like a golden mask, and it's got feathers in their hair, and it's terrifying. At one point, it like swoops down and attacks one of the characters. The bosses are larger than life. I didn't understand the HP bars on all these characters. Very, very weird to read. The person who I watched play it was a no commentary demo, but this person got very creepy with the camera, and I was just like, "Come on, man!
Are we talking like purposely putting it to the front and making it go up and down?"
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even have to fucking see it to get that.
And you know what? That happened. I was like, all right, I'm going to find someone who's being a little less creepy. It took me like 5 or 6 videos to find someone who wasn't being creepy about it.
So I want to joke and like say like, oh yeah, I'm not ready for that. But no, I agree. That's fucking weird. Like why do you have to do that? Why can't we just let it be, guys?
Like, I feel like when I'm playing Fortnite and I'm down but not out, and I'm like crawling to like I'm either snitching on my opponent to my friend where the other character is at, or I'm like moving to like try and see my like surroundings. I feel weird if I move the camera, like if I have a character wearing a skirt or something and I move it around, I feel weird. So I'm just like, why are we all over this 3D model? Why are we doing this? Can't you guys just like a game without like sexualizing it? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, go read a magazine.
The problem is it's the same group of people who are like, oh, what they're doing to women in video games. Women don't have facial hair. This is not my video games.
I don't think any of these men that say that have known their grandmothers for a very long time.
Pretty sure they don't know women in general.
Yeah, they don't. They really don't. And they're like, well, this is a real woman. It's like, yeah, a real woman that you have never been in the room with, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's not how the world works. I'm sorry.
It's they're white knights. They're like, no, these women need to be represented, and I am going to be the one that champions this woman in video game.
They're the neckbeards who wear fedoras.
Josh, they're turning these video game characters woke. Josh, they're putting it in the water. These video game characters are becoming woke.
honestly, be like every other
the liberal media won't tell you this. I'm here to tell you this right now.
be like every other woke user out there. Go move to Russia, realize how much money you have it here, and shut the fuck up.
Josh, the women in the Stellar Blade video game are
They're stellar.
They're stellar, and they
Don't
have
get me wrong.
blades.
I'm all about, like, don't get me wrong. Am I going to enjoy like what I'm seeing? Honestly, maybe. But do I need to over sexualize it and like deadpan it to death? No.
I took a screenshot of something from Kotaku in Action today because I was writing.
Was it about it?
No, the title of this Kotaku in Action post is called "The Woke Mob is Starting to Get Terrified."
Oh, Jesus.
Let me read.
Yes,
I'm going to
please.
read this to you in my best Alex Jones voice. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I might lose it because my voice has been in and out. But here we go. After snooping around leftist subreddits, I noticed the woke mob is actually terrified of losing the culture war. They're terrified of normies becoming radicalized and becoming right-wing. They're terrified of losing elections as well as changing social dynamics, cultural shifts, and consumer habits. As much as they put on a bravado of being unafraid because they try to convince themselves that they are winning, deep down they feel threatened or terrified of losing. Which is why we need to never stop fighting. We need to always be a thorn in their side. We are fighting for a future where there is a consumer market for people like us. We will never accept the woke mob's perversion. We will never let them change our way of life. There is no war but culture war. The culture war is eternal. I am doing my part by radicalizing anyone that I can. What a fucking idiot!
I have to ask, how are these people alive? Like,
What
how
a fucking
did they not
dipshit.
choke?
What the fuck? You're a fucking idiot. Go outside.
Does he talk? Is it just like an actual main post, or is it a comment?
No, this is the main post.
Does he have like any like? Is there a particular reason why he had to like? I'm writing this just because.
No, this is his identity. He has nothing interesting about him. Is it
in reference to anything? Like, did someone post something and he's like doing a rebuttal to that post on his own post? Like,
No.
I'm like, what the fuck did that have to be out there?
Guys like this believe in it. Guys like it's I'm coughing too. Guys like this believe in like this thing called white erasure. They think that the market for white folks is going away, and they think and they're like, well, no, like there's things about us that are interesting, and the only thing about them is shit like this.
I don't understand people sometimes. Like, first off, how are they alive? Like, how hasn't someone murdered them by now?
I worked a line from his paragraph into one of my pitches. What a fucking dipshit, fucking loser. What a fucking dweeb. I'm going to stuff him in a locker if I ever see him, and I'm near a locker.
No, he's definitely going to fit because, he has to feel comfortable and safe, and the closest he can get to it is his truck, his lifted truck. And he has to have like a little step stool to get on top of.
Hey, this Kotaku in Action Corner is brought to you by Safe Spaces. Safe Spaces, giving dweebs like this guy a place to go off. We should make that. Every week I should start bringing in an excerpt from Kotaku in Action. But you can't get, if it red pills you, we have to stop that segment, Josh.
Wait, what do you mean by red pill?
If like I'm reading those and like 1 week you're just like, you know what, they're starting to make sense to me, dude. I get it now.
They're never gonna make sense to me. I'm sitting here, I still get confused about the whole when they don't have facial hair. Motherfucker, every person has facial hair.
Josh, this wasn't you, was it? This wasn't you, was it?
No.
This wasn't you. Let me get a good look at you real quick. Let me get a good look me in the eye. All right. Hey, we didn't really plan a last segment, but I think we might have done something like this a few weeks ago or a few months ago. But we are at the end of Q1. It's actually the end of the fiscal quarter if you are into that business speak. So we're 3 months in 2024, and I want both of us to pick their top 3 games of 2024 so far.
Also, Nick, I like to add in, let's throw on one So get your top 3, but pick the worst game of the year so far.
Okay. I do think we've done this previously. I think we might have had like Arnold or Mark or something. We had
Oh no,
somebody
we
on.
definitely. I know we've done this before. I just don't remember when we did it. And it's been a month for sure.
And you know what? We need a palate cleanser. We've both been in reviews. We've both been playing a lot of games recently. Josh, go ahead. What's your first game of the year so far?
I'm definitely going to go ahead and throw out Helldivers 2. It's still up there. I mean, yeah, the hype of it has kind of gone down a bit, especially since like Dragon Dogma 2 came out. I think it's really the only thing I keep seeing consistently. I just think even for the hype going down, it's still got a huge following. I still see tons of stuff for it. The numbers are still there. And we just get more and more interesting stuff. Like we have Joel, the hidden dungeon master from the world. Like they just keep throwing things in there. It just makes it more and more interesting. It makes you want to be a person inside that studio, and you just want to watch. You want to be a fly on the wall, just watching everything happen.
Do you see they posted an event today about reclaiming that lake everybody talks about?
Yep, and they're apparently already claimed it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, when they saw it, it's been a meme for the longest time. Yeah, people start rushing for it.
Oh, Malevian Creek, right?
But yeah, because it's supposed to be like the equivalent of like Vietnam.
Those
Allegedly.
poor Helldivers. They're having fun though.
Those poor automatons, man, they're not surviving anything.
Hey, you know what? They're having fun, so that's all we can really, they're having fun. Let's see. My first game, I'm gonna go Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia, it's not the Lost Crown, is it? I'm blanking on the name right now.
I thought it was
I'm starting to get my Prince of Persia names mixed up. There's the Two Thrones. There's the Warrior Within. The Sands of... Yeah, I think it's the Lost Crown.
the Lost Crown. You're right.
I wanted to call it the Lost Throne for some reason. No, just good Metroidvania. Really, really tight like platforming and puzzle dynamics. Just kind of came out of not nowhere, but like Ubisoft is in a really decent spot right now. I say that, and they just did all that NPC stuff at GDC. So what the fuck? But no, I had a lot of fun with it. Good, challenging boss fights. Just a great world as well. And yeah, more Metroidvanias from Ubisoft. Stop doing that open world shit.
Yeah. Next one on my list, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah, it was shocker, right? I don't know. Like honestly, it's Square Enix knows what they're doing over there, in my opinion. It's a fantastic. Obviously, it's a story everybody knows. It's a 25-year-old game, or not? Yeah, it's a 25 here, right? We said 26, 27, something like that.
It's up there.
But either way, fantastic story. And yes, it is a remake. So everyone knows kind of the gist, but they've done so much to it that's different that it feels like a whole new game. Like, yes, I get the idea of where things are going. Yes, I get an idea of where I'm at and what I'm supposed to do for the most part. But there's so much different about it, and it's keeping me on my feet. And it's definitely I've sunk in I think I'm at 40 hours right now, 50 hours. Jeez. And I'm only maybe halfway through.
You're not even close to done.
No. So it's honestly fantastic. There's tons to do, tons to learn. Mini games galore, which I know people are probably tired of mini games, but I mean, you should know. Go into what's the place called? The Golden
Saucer.
Golden Saucer. Thank you. I was gonna say Golden Corral. I'm like, is that Golden Corral?
What are you doing?
That's chock full of mini. That's the arcade alone. I mean, come on, you know what you're getting there. All in all, fantastic. I'm enjoying it so far. Definitely going to be game of the year solo wise.
I'm gonna go Pepper Grinder. Pepper Grinder's up there. It's a small game in a time where there are big games galore, left and right. It's just nice to have a small game that actually has some challenge to it, has some solid gameplay, has this unique twist that it doesn't lean on too much. I didn't mention it earlier, but your little drill can power things like gun. It can power a gun that you can use to rampage through a level.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, while digging in the ground and going really fast is a big deal, the moments where you're above ground and the game slows down a little bit, it still finds ways to keep things fun and keep things moving. And it's got a lot of replayability for such a small game. And yeah, so I think that's another one for me.
Oh man, now it's starting to get a little harder because we're only 4 months in, or well, technically 3 months into it.
Remember, it doesn't have to be from this year, Josh.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. I mean, I just made that rule up, but go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to even remember now what had come out last year towards the end. Do you have your third while I think about my third? Or can I get my bad one now?
Do your bad one. Go ahead and do your bad one.
Skull and Bones.
Oh, yeah. Not totally surprising. Not totally surprising.
I mean, Ubisoft delivered the steamiest shit they possibly could into a game. I mean, literally, when how old is Black Flag now? When
it's
14-year-old game?
Black Flag was Black Flag like first run on the Xbox One, so that would have been 2013, 2014. So
okay, so 12 years old.
About 10, 12 years, yeah.
When a 10 to 12-year-old game can do it better, and it was a side mechanic, or like a main game, when they can do it better, and it's their game, there's a problem. I mean, it's awful. Like honestly, even though I am a avid hunter for achievements and trophies, I don't know if I'll ever go back and touch that game ever again.
Yeah, you're fucking sick, dude. We need to get that achievement stuff wrapped up for you. You're mess, man.
I paid good money for these games. I want to do it. Okay.
Fucking sick, man. My last good game is Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, which this one kind of came and went off a lot of radars. I feel like it came at a weird time between, I think it came out right before Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And
right around the same time as Helldivers. So I think Helldivers kind of ate its lunch, and then Final Fantasy fucking ate its sack that its lunch was in. No, this is a fun little, it's almost like the hunt in The Witcher, like when you're hunting down the different creatures. Good central love story, really well written characters, really fun setting, really fun, not fun dynamics, but interesting dynamics of exploring 1776 and race relations, and how that would work in a ghost hunting setting. And I really enjoyed it. I do want to go back to it. Yeah, man, I got like 20 hours into it, so I'm like, I should probably go back and play a little more of that. And I guess, when did that come? Let me check the date on that. That came out February 12th. Oh my God, that feels so long ago.
Yeah, it's going on 2 months.
Wow, just wow. Josh, go ahead. What's your last good?
Honestly, I think I'm gonna go, since I'm trying to keep it all 2024. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
I forgot you played that.
Honestly, it definitely was a game where it made me want to go back and try out all the other ones, because I did a little bit of Like a Dragon. I played a shit ton of Infinite Wealth. More than I'm proud to say, because I spent a lot of time into it, and I felt like, damn, now I actually need to go back. I stopped purposely, one, to write the review, and two, because I'm like, I feel like I need to go back and give Infinite Wealth more of a chance and to get more of the story. Like, they do a good job, like, telling you what happened, but I'm like, I kind of just want to get into it myself and see it. But then it's like, damn, I want to go back and try all the other Yakuzas just to say I've done it. Because honestly, it blew my mind. It definitely blew my expectations out of the water going in.
Good choice. I completely forgot that was this year as well. My one not so good. I wouldn't say this is a bad game, just a game that disappointed me. Again, this is a game I want to spend a little more time with. I spent a shitload of time with it on review. But this is Ultros. This is that psychedelic Metroidvania very much about preservation and nature, and it's a loop game, but it's a Metroidvania. But what it does really bad about its loop aspect is, Metroidvanias are about your power creep, and you becoming like this unstoppable force, and you never actually achieve that in Ultra. So your powers are constantly taken from you. You're just a little guy with a sword hitting away at things, and the game becomes way more interesting later into it when you start messing around with this thing called the living network, and you're trying to connect all the different plants and all the different technology, and like just build this network that allows you to fast travel, but also just connect everything within the ship. And it's the most interesting aspect of the game, and they don't introduce it until like the last few hours of the game, which is baffling. I do want to go back. It does look like they've done some small patches here and there. It looks like it came out last week, so that might be something worth checking out. I'm going to pull those patch notes up and check those out after the show. But again, not a terrible game, just a disappointing game for me. So yeah, and Josh, do you have a game you're looking forward to?
Ooh, yeah, I do have a handful that at least have caught my attention. Now, some of them may or may not come out. Like the one for sure coming out that honestly looks really good that I definitely want to kind of maybe invest a little more time in to see is that Dragon Ball Z Spark. That looks honestly really good.
Is that the card battler?
No, that's the new ones, basically the new Tenkaichi, basically.
Oh, okay.
It just looks phenomenal. And they brought back the power system. We know we have like Goku doing the Kamehameha and Vegeta doing the Final Flash. They collide with each other. You have to mash your buttons. They brought that back.
Well, I've always loved that.
I've always loved that too. So it just looks. I mean, the trailer they dropped was really good, and it definitely looks very promising. So it's definitely high up there on my list of like, yeah, I definitely want to grab a hold of that when it comes out. My two games I hope come out this year, but who knows? The new Stalker. So Stalker 2, I think it's Heart of Chernobyl. I think it's the name they were going for. It's supposed to come out last year. No,
it was supposed to come out 2022, and then everything.
Yeah, and then it got pushed back.
The Ukraine-Russia conflict happened.
Yeah, so
the war. It's a war. It's a war.
Yeah,
Let's call it a war.
So I hope it comes out, but that's high up there on my list. The other one that I saw that I hope comes out because the first one was fantastic is Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. Those are fun. My watch picked me up apparently.
Your watch is like, hey, I'm listening.
I've been listening to you. It's just there's something about Warhammer when it comes to third-person shooters. It's just fantastic. I just want to try it. It just looks like fun. Otherwise, there's something too. Oh, well, yeah. I guess that's basically it as far as I can think of. I'm sure something else will come up eventually.
Well, we only needed one, but thank you for all those.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, of course, Frostpunk 2, if it sees the light of day this year. It seems more and more is happening this year, but I will hold my breath until that happens. Two more that I became aware of recently. There is Children of the Sun, which is I know it's published by Devolver. I forget who it's developed by. But it's this weird third-person shooter puzzle game where you are this woman hunting down these cult members, and the puzzles are you like sneaking around these different areas of this base, killing them with a camera that follows the bullet. It looks really cool. If you can get a chance, look up a trailer. I'm probably going to review this if it becomes available for assignment on our site that we review for, so keep an eye out for that. And then another one that I caught a glimpse of is Turbo Kid, which is a Metroidvania that involves motorcycles, a BMX-themed Metroidvania. And it looks really fucking cool. If you haven't seen a trailer for either of these, I recommend you go check them out. They're both coming out like within the next 2 weeks. They look bananas. They both look bananas. Yeah, go check them out. Josh is checking them out.
I'm checking it out right now.
Josh is checking them out right now. Another one I know it's coming out, No Rest for the Wicked, comes out, I want to say mid-April, and that's from the team that did Ori, the Ori games, and now they're doing like a dungeon crawler, which is like a crazy jump. It's like what you're doing that now? Other than that, I know Tales of Kinzero Zhao comes out. That's another big Metroidvania. I'm reading the caption here on Kotaku. It's a heartfelt story set in a beautiful Afro-futurist inspired world, and that one is very colorful. It's kind of giving Ori vibes from the few gameplay videos I've seen. Another one, real quick. I know I'm giving a bunch, but Megaton Muashi W Wired is like an RPG, but like it's all mechs that you can build. And I'm a mech boy. I'm a mech boy through and through. That's all I'm gonna go through on that list. But Josh what game are you looking at right now, Josh?
Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid looks fucking nice,
Dude,
doesn't it?
Not only does it look nice, but I enjoyed the little live action scenes they got in the background for this trailer too.
Every time one of those popped up, I was like, let's fucking go. Turbo.
Dude, this looks so cool.
And the way he's moving around with his BMX bike and using it to maneuver. Oh my god!
I mean, just the bosses look awesome. Oh, the soundtrack. Yeah, okay, I'm sold. Even if you get the demo or the review, or if we don't get the review, I'm probably 100% going to be buying this.
By the way, go
so good.
We're recording this on April 1st. There's this game on Steam called Content Warning that's free right now, Josh. Go download that because it won't be free tomorrow. It'll be $8 tomorrow. Install. Okay, hey, while everyone is doing that, if you're listening now, it's too late. Pay your $8, you fuck. Hey, we did it. We made it through the show. We're here at the end. We're here. Hey, we did it. Yeah.
We did forget one thing.
What did we forget?
Our meme.
Did we forget our meme?
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Do you want to do it right now?
Nah, you're not gonna
save it. Just save it because then I
have to... it. It's gonna be relevant.
Okay, all right. Hey, real quick. It's super late, but we're gonna do our meme. Meme
time.
It's a real quick one, guys. Some of you will appreciate it, and some of you will go, I don't get it.
All right.
So we got at the bottom here. Okay, so the picture is there's the fork in the road. To the right looks really dark and gloomy. To the left it looks sunny and fantastic. The bottom it's Marvel Rivals. To the right with the dark background is Overwatch 2, and then to the sunny left hand side is Overwatch.
And
which is what everybody's hoping
it's gonna cut straight through the middle, and it's gonna be gone within a year.
It's just gonna be jump off the cliff.
It's our messiest episode ever, but it's also our first Wednesday episode, so whatever, man. We'll get it down. Hey, we'll probably have a special guest next week, so stay tuned for that. That'll be exciting. We always love having people on the show. Hey, Nick here. You can find me on Twitter at That Kaufman. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at Nick Fat Knight. Not that I'm doing too much over there. You can find my reviews at Game Chronicles. Go check out the Reveal and the Pepper Grinder reviews. Those went up recently. Those actually are doing pretty good numbers on both for both of those. And then I contribute for harddrive.net, the satire gaming site. So go check out my articles. I've got a handful up now. I'm finding my voice over there. I'm losing my voice here. I'm finding my voice over there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then I'm going to get back to blogging on the website. Might do some like one-offs instead of like the journal while I'm still recovering. Josh, where can the people find you?
Anywhere and everywhere. I'm Josh Saying. I also have my reviews, video game reviews over at Game Chronicles. And this week will be a hard push of getting shit up and not saying I'm going to do it, but actually doing it.
Still waiting on that journal, Josh.
I don't think I'm going to do the journals, Nick. I can't do that anymore.
That's okay. I'm
going to have my own voice.
Well, first of all, don't say I can't do that anymore because you never did them.
I did it once.
No, it would have been enough. No.
I gave it to you. Don't even act like that. I did it once. I gave it to you.
You handed me like a thing with chicken scratch on it and said, "Here's my journal."
I'll be back.
It was like just like a stick of gum. He's like, "Here's my journal."
Chewed, right? Already chewed.
Speaking of all that, Smashing Game Time. We're on every social media that you can think of. TikTok, though we're not doing too much over there because, again, fuck the algorithms. Who gives a shit?
Then it's probably gonna be gone in the next 365 days.
Yeah. Well, people probably listen to this like, these guys don't market for shit. I'm not interested in these guys at all. We have the website, smashinggametime.com. Go over there and check that out. It's a fun site. This episode will be up on there. There'll be a page for that. There's also a page for our interview that we did with Sebastian over at Deep Night Games, so go check that out. And then once the journals start rolling out for myself again, those will be up as well. We want to do some guest spots. We did some guest spots back in January for Game of the Year stuff. We want to do some additional spots. It doesn't feel right to ask people and then be like, oh, we can't pay you. We can just point people to it.
We can pay you an experience.
We can pay you an experience. And guess what? We got experience.
They don't want that.
Everyone's got experience coming out of their assholes. And again, you can find Smashing Game Time wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube where you can see our wonderful faces. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. Word of mouth is king here. This episode's getting long. And thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt Him Down. It's a great song. We've got a link to his SoundCloud down in the show notes. Go check his stuff out. Al is a great guy. Hey, everybody. We made it to the end of the show. This has been Smashing Game Time. I hope you all had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.